In today's lesson, we'll focus on how to connect two nouns using various forms of end. Yes, unfortunately, there are many ways you can say end in Korean, but with the help of this video, I hope to provide some insight for which ones you can use and when. A big reminder, this is only going to be discussing how to use end between two nouns, not verbs. While in this video we will be learning how to say things like apples and bananas, we will not be learning how to say, I went to the store and bought groceries. Starting with wa and kwa. Both of these mean end. This is the most polite way to say end. It's also used in writing as well. If your word ends in a vowel, you will use wa, and if your word ends in a consonant, you will use kwa. I'll show you some examples of these in use. 사과와 바나나. Apples and bananas. 닭과 소. Cows and chickens. As you can see, the word end gets attached directly to the end of the first noun. Take a look at the following examples. Which version of end should go in the space? The answers are 와, 과, and 와. 피자와 맥주. Pizza and beer. 손과 발. Hand and arm. 물과 주스. Water and juice. 해와 달. Sun and moon. Next, we will talk about 하고. This is a spoken way to say end. This form doesn't have any special notes about vowels or consonants. It just gets attached to the end of the first noun, no matter what it ends with. 사과하고 바나나. Apples and bananas. 닭하고 소. Chickens and cows. There are a few times you will see 하고 and it isn't connecting nouns. That serves a different purpose, which we will learn in the future. Just for now, know that it can be used to connect nouns. Next is 이랑. This works exactly like 와 and 과, where if you have a word that ends in a vowel, you will use 랑. But if you have a word that ends in a consonant, you will use 이랑, like the following. 사과랑 바나나. 닭이랑 소. This is another spoken way to say end. It's a lot more casual out of the rest of the options. Look at the following examples. Which version of end should go in the space? The answers are 랑, 이랑, 케이크랑 우유. Cake and milk. 차랑 버스. Car and bus. 산이랑 바다. Mountain and sea. 신발이랑 구두. Shoes and dress shoes. There is a cool feature that all of these have. In addition to meaning end, they can also mean with. If you think about certain instances in English, it's not that far off to say that the two can sometimes be interchangeable depending on the context, like bread and cheese or bread with cheese, beer with chips or beer and chips. Sometimes, depending on what you're trying to say, with can be substituted in the place of end. Let's do some sentence practices with these. 1. I bought eggs and milk. We're going to be using 하고. Again, please ignore any particles in the parentheses. The sentence would go, 저는 계란하고 우유를 샀어요. 저는 계란하고 우유를 샀어요. I would like you to try the next two sentences on your own. I will provide the vocabulary, which form of end you will need to use, and how formal you have to be. Pay attention to the politeness level if you need to use I or me. Please don't worry about any additional particles. I like music and books. The answer is 나는 음악이랑 책을 좋아해. Remember that 나 is used to say I casually. And when conjugating casually, you do not need 요 at the end. 나는 음악이랑 책을 좋아해. Mom made earrings and purses. The answer is 엄마는 귀걸이와 가방을 만들었습니다. 엄마는 귀걸이와 가방을 만들었습니다. Now let's move on to 같이 and 함께. These two words are actually used to mean together. 함께 is used a lot in formal speech and writing, whereas 같이 is less formal but not necessarily fully casual, and used in everyday conversation. So why am I showing you these two words if we're learning how to say and? As I mentioned, one of the other usages our words have is to mean with. A lot of times you will see 같이 or 함께 paired with one of these ways to say and or with to mean together with. Like in the following examples. 나는 남편이랑 같이 게임을 해. I play games with my husband. 저는 공원에 프랭키와 함께 갔어요. I went to the park with Frankie. 저는 신티아하고 같이 차를 마셔요. I'm having tea with Cynthia. 오늘은 제가 에밀리와 함께 음악을 들었습니다. Today I listened to music with Emily. You can see that it falls immediately after the word and with in each sentence. You can also hear that 같이 is used a lot in phrases or questions, especially with phrases like 같이 가자, which means let's go together. Sometimes when you see it translated, together isn't always in the sentence. By using 같이, the listener can already assume that you mean together. So if you're ever reading subtitles to a drama and they leave out together, it's just that it's usually implied.